Oh yeah. What
And
are you
here we
slow
go.
about?
I'm so about getting us online, but I think we are just about there.
Okay.
Here we go.
And we're off.
Over our heads again. We know this is what we're meant to do. So we wake up, put our feet on the floor, oh, and conquer the day like a warrior, like warrior. And that's what a tribe does. We got your back so you can relax. Focus on all the important stuff, like getting your business done. This is our tribe. We look out for each other. This is our tribe. We help each other grow. Don't need the panic anymore. We got lots of support and an army of warriors by our side. We fight the good fight when we unite. We fight the good fight when we unite. That's what a tribe does. We got your back so you can relax and focus on all the important stuff, like getting your business done. This is our tribe. We look out for each other. This is our tribe. We help each other grow. Right, welcome, ladies and gents, to the Coffee Shop Conversation Show. I am Nestene.
And I'm still Peter.
And we are here with you again today. I forget what we're doing here, Peter.
Just don't look at me.
Guys, we had the biggest launch with one of our biggest corporate partners yet on Saturday. We have been flown all over the country. We are tired, but it's okay because we have two of our very best friends and two of the best entrepreneurs in the entire world here with us on the show today, ready to tell you all about customer acquisition strategies. Because they are amazing and they are the best and we just love them to bits.
Yes.
Okay, that's your contribution.
That's my contribution.
Okay, great. Good to know,
Yes.
Peter. So guys, just before we get into the show, I have to tell you, if you're on YouTube, please get involved in the chat. You can still contribute, even if you're just able to tune in on YouTube. But also, it's exciting times in Explore ProTech. Oh my goodness, we have been through such a ride with our entrepreneurial buddies from all over the world. And now it's like it's finally starting to pay off in a very big way. It's like you can feel that excitement in the tribe. We're getting some corporate partners on board. We're exploring some big avenues together, and we're ready to really turn those opportunities into a launch pad for all of the entrepreneurs in our tribe, because that's what it's about. It's about succeeding together, you know, fighting together, going through the what do you call them, wanting times together, supporting each other through those, but then also winning together, getting to the other side together. So it's so exciting. And we just want to say to everyone, you know, watching right now, everyone that's here with us right now, guys, this is it. Like, this is exciting times. This is like one day they're going to ask us, how did we do it? How did we become the 500 Forbes entrepreneur?
I have the answer to that.
And we're going to tell them, like, this was it. This is part of that journey. So we're so happy to have you part of that journey.
The answer to the question, how did we do it? The answer is, we didn't.
That's a very good answer. That is so true.
We didn't do it. The tribe did. I think that's where we get to showcase the difference between what a real community is and just a networking group. You want to join just a networking group and go do your elevator pitches, have fun. But when you want to join a space with real people, real problems, solving real issues together, building things together, and then we start looking at some of the things that we're building, and those things are not possible without the tribe. It's not possible. It's not possible.
I mean, we pulled off this amazing, massive launch, right? But we didn't do it alone. We had 7 coaches there with us. We had Somerville working tirelessly in the background, while Somerville was actually like on WhatsApp the whole time. I'm like, Somerville, help! The program is behind. 10 minutes later, it's like, Somerville, help! The program is like now in front. Like, we're gonna finish early. And she would just jump in and help, and everyone was supporting on WhatsApp and watching the journey and telling us how much they love us. Like, you guys are just amazing. But also what I'm trying to say now actually is, in 3 months time, all the students that we now met for the first time at this launch on Saturday is joining the tribe. They're becoming part of the community. All of them are coming into our loving arms, and we're ready to receive them and show them what entrepreneurship is all about. Show them how it should be done. Show them how real entrepreneurs embrace each other, support each other, uplift each other, and then strengthen our community at the same time, right? Because we need those 500, and some of these students, it might not be all of them, but some of them might turn out to be our 500, those people that are supposed to be here, walking the road with us, connecting us to the right people, you know, putting in the work and the joint ventures so we can all get to where we want to go.
Yeah, and just a shout out as well in the background to Mankosa. They went above and beyond the call of duty in regards to how this launch went. We arrived to such elegance. We arrived to very excited Mankosa team members. I've never seen a team like that in the background, so excited, from the staff that were hosting the students to the people that were catering, to everyone. There was just this excitement in the air. Even security was expecting us to arrive. It was brilliant. So Mankosa, well done. The students are very lucky to be in your space.
Indeed, definitely very, very lucky. We couldn't have partnered with a better institution to roll out this program and bring this massive change to the world. So we're so grateful. Cheers to that, guys. Cheers to everything good coming to this space. Woohoo! So now, getting onto the topic of the show, customer acquisition strategies. I'm literally feeling like I'm going to mute myself now and you guys can just
No. We've got this. We've got this.
And with we, Peter means Nestene will keep on talking for the foreseeable future.
I mean, if you think about it, this is a conversation that all entrepreneurs need to have. We all need to have this conversation, because without clients, what are we doing? You know, building something for ourselves. So, you know, like we stroking our own egos in the background. What are we doing? You know, without having clients and without having those conversations, you're not landing clients. So where are your clients? What are they doing? You know, where are they now? Where are they hanging out? These are things that need to be answered, and these are the conversations that we can have. How do you find out where your clients even are? How do you find out how to even approach them? I mean, that's an important one. How do you approach a client? Do you, like, are you the used car salesman? You know, do you bash your way in there? Buy it now, it's red, it's fast. You know, that style doesn't work anymore. We'll give you free tires. Oh, that style doesn't work anymore either, because we all know we're paying for it. So
I have to tell you guys a great story. So this is how not to get a client. Okay, literally when I started in entrepreneurship, I started an accounting practice, and I was so out of my depth. Like, they don't teach you marketing in accounting. Okay, it's just not part of the curriculum. So literally I went to my first networking event, and one of my friends were there, and she was amazing. She's been in entrepreneurship for a while. And she was introducing me to this other person as this amazing lady that's now starting up an accounting practice. And at that point in time, I think I believed so little in myself, my own offer and everything else, but I knew I had to get clients. So she introduced me, and she was like, this is Nestene, the person starting up the accounting practice. And I was like, hi, I'm Nestene. I think I'm starting an accounting practice. I'm not sure. It was just not good. It was just so not good. But I think that's normal though. So it's moving away from that kind of trying to get a client to where you're actually confident in what you're trying to do. You have a strategy in place and you're working some methodologies.
So in other words, part of the strategy of finding your client is not necessarily finding them first, it's finding yourself first.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
if you don't believe in what you're doing and what you're offering, when you start to offer it, you offer it in a way that really tells a story of the fact that you just don't know what you're really offering. So
How do you always get what I'm trying to say, even when I'm not even making that much
I just
sense?
repeat what you say in a different way and it makes me look smart.
I think that is what I'm trying to say. Thank you, Peter. It is so important to start with finding your offer first and your target market, things like that. What are you trying to do? Who are you trying to serve? Why should they be happy that you're trying to serve them?
I think that is a process that a lot of the people in our space are currently going through, refining their offers, refining who they are, refining the conversations that they will be having with people before actually having those conversations, which is very important.
Yeah. Then the next thing that I will say is also that is where the tribe comes in big time, or any community that you have access to. A lot of the entrepreneurs that join our space go through this period in time where it kind of looks, I think it might look to them at least, because usually they're very like hard on themselves, like those typical entrepreneurial types. It might look to them like they're trading water, going back and forth, trying different things, coming up with different offers. Then I'm doing this, then I'm doing that. Then I'm asking people about how this is going to be. But what they're actually doing is they're finding their product market fit, which is such a beautiful, special journey for any entrepreneur to go through. And the thing is, when you're in the tribe, because you're getting so much feedback and support, and you're out there with your offer all the time, you're going to realize quicker if that product market fit isn't quite right. You're going to get the feedback quicker. You're going to go through that process quicker. So it's going to be a little bit of a roller coaster ride, but when you get to the other side, and we've seen it happen, where it just all of a sudden it just clicks. I'm not going to like today there was one of the entrepreneurs in our community, Susan, and when she came to us, she took a very much a roller coaster ride.
She took a roller coaster ride.
Today, she finally sent me a prospectus with the prospectus, with her company profile and her offers and everything on there, and I was like, wow. Is this Susan? This is incredible. And I know Sondra is smiling because she had something to do with that. It is just so beautiful to see that moment when it just like it clicks.
At the same time, be very careful, because that journey can also be a trap. A lot of entrepreneurs get stuck in that space of changing from the one thing to the next, to refine, to change to something else, to refine that, to change to something else, and never quite finding that groove. It can be a trap. Make sure you don't get stuck in it. Otherwise, you will permanently be an entrepreneur that's finding the next best thing, finding out that you couldn't quite refine the very first thing that you started out with, which is probably what you should have been doing all along, and which is probably what you will end up doing. So don't get caught in that trap. I think surrounding yourself with a certain type of people that you can actually go to and go, this is my offer, what do you think? Find people that would be your potential target market and go to them and go, like, what do you think? Would you buy into this if I approached you in this manner? What was wrong with my approach? Ask for honest feedback. That feedback is critical, because you can go and tweak and change based on the people that actually would want to be buying your product, would be giving you their opinion. You know, whether you like their opinion or not, it's valid. So surround yourself with people that you can trust to actually give you that honest feedback, and don't get stuck in that space of, oh, this is not working. Well, it's not working because maybe 1 or 2 tweaks are needed, but finding something else is not necessarily the solution.
I'm not going to lie to you guys. When we started Explore ProTech, we did not know that much about client acquisition, right, Peter? You don't want to admit it live on YouTube.
I knew everything. No, In all honesty, when we started Explore ProTech, originally it was a training space. We knew the things that we didn't know.
Yes, one of them was marketing.
One of them was marketing. So instead of trying to learn the hard way by trying everything, we invited people into our space that were marketers. And then we told them, come and teach our space, come and teach our people. And when they came to teach, we were the first ones taking notes. That's the power of surrounding yourself with the right people. You learn from each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you are at this moment in that process where you're like, I'm trying to attract a certain type of client, I think I need to change something, you do probably, and you need to think about these things. It's great that you're thinking about these things. You can go through that process of trying out different things and finding the thing that works for you a lot quicker the more that you talk to other people and bounce off of them, but the right people, people that are there to support you, advise you, people that have been through the entrepreneurial journey and are doing it successfully. Like one of the first people that actually guided us on our customer strategy wasn't even a marketer. It was Mr. Levy. We were just like, you seem to be doing this pretty successfully, Mr. Levy. Like,
what do you do?
Yeah, what do you do? And he was so open to be like super helpful. Like he didn't make us feel dumb. He didn't make us feel like we don't know anything. He was just like, well, this is what I do. Let me share that with you. This is what's out there. Maybe you should talk to that person. And that is literally what you need to be going through. Also, I'll get off of the soapbox now. I think Mo has infected me with her soapbox mentality.
I think you're right.
But guys, we want to hear from you as well. But I think the next thing I just need to say is a lot of people coming to Explore ProTech or our community, and they're like, okay, referrals they're the gold here. This is what's going to give me clients, referrals. It's true, referrals is a very big part of what can happen in a community. It's very valuable, but the more valuable part, the much more valuable part is where you're actually using each other for beta testing, you're using each other to get that feedback, you're using each other to get to the product market fit. That is the much more powerful part. And I can guarantee you, you can have a conversation with every single one of the entrepreneurs in our community, and you can walk away having learned something that you didn't know before. Which is why we have this platform as well, the Coffee Shop Conversation Show. So we can share all this stuff from all of our different areas, the things that we've been through, the things that we've tried, the things that worked for us, things that didn't work for us. Let's share it. So I want to invite you guys, please pop your hands on the screen so we can involve you in this conversation. So you can just do this and then become part of the conversation, ask questions, give your comments, give your insights, share your experiences. We're dying to hear what you guys have to say as well.
Not literally, just figuratively dying. Not literally dying. We're not dying. We're just curious. We want to know. So we're figuratively dying to hear what you have to say.
What I will tell you guys as well is our corporate introduction was a referral. That was a massive referral. Some of the best clients that have ever come our way and some of the best people that have joined our community have been referrals. But it hasn't been referrals because we stood up at a networking event and we asked for referrals or introduced ourselves. It was a referral because we were working together with those types of people in a joint venture space. So they had a very good idea of what we do and what we can offer. And they also had a good idea of what they could get out of offering that to someone else because they were involved in the joint venture. And that is actually what got us an introduction to the corporate client. So I can share that with you guys. And then let's hear from LESETJA. LESETJA, I'm really excited to hear your contribution. What do you have to say on client acquisition strategies?
Okay. After all that you said, what is left to say?
I can say I can keep talking.
No, but You've shared quite a bit of verbal information, and it's really what's part of, or being part of, Explore ProTech is. Okay. I also joined in thinking that I know about sales because I've been in sales for I don't know how many decades. But coming into the tribe, it was such an eye opener. You get to meet different people with different experiences and different ways of doing things. I mean, I used to do a lot of cold calls, and I would go out and push a sale into the customer's eye, like, I want you to buy. And that didn't work. I was wondering, why am I not getting sales? It's because I was basically just taking my presentation and saying, this is what I'm selling, and you will buy. And after joining the tribe, I realized, with the help of a whole lot of coaches here, it's not about what you're selling, it's about you solving your client's needs. Because if you're not going to solve his needs, he will not buy from you. So go out there looking for solving clients' needs. So research your clients. Don't just pick a directory and dial people and say, well, I'm gonna go. Research them and know what their needs are. When you go in, it's all about you solving client needs and also networking. For me, networking is one of the best. And what you said, Nestene, is surrounding yourself with trustworthy people. You network with people that are going to help you grow, and not just for the sake of having numbers in networking. The 5, 6 of us that are here now, if we have to sit and help each other through a hurdle, we're going to help each other better in an open-minded and open way than having 40 people in a network where you're going to get confused as to who's saying this, who's helping me here, because all of them have got their own ideas and their own ways of doing things. So for me, it has been, after joining the tribe, of course, go out there, look at what your client needs, and solve those. It doesn't help for me to say I've got 60 appointments a week, and I come back with not even one positive response. I'd rather have 4 a week, but being quality appointments where I know, even if they don't buy, but I've triggered their mind into something that they need, that they didn't know they need. So for me, that's my approach at the moment. And thank you so much, LESETJA MOKOU, Radio Pulpit, and your Entrepreneur of Note. Thank you.
LESETJA, you are epic. I think before we let you go, can we just put you in a bit of a hot seat? Because this is like, I don't know. I just remembered, these are things I've always wanted to ask you, because you have like 600 years of experience in sales, right? And business development.
Right.
Close to. So how do you go about getting in touch with your larger type corporate clients? Because I know you do a lot of sales with larger type clients. How do you go about meeting
them? First, connect with them, and I connect them via social media, the main one being LinkedIn. Connect with them. If they accept my connection, and it's not just connect, and then when they accept your connection, you say, okay, what are their contact details? It's connecting with an explanation of what you want to do. I mean, you'd have researched them. Let's take a bank, for instance. If you want to approach a bank, you cannot just connect with the CEO and let them connect back with you and say, well, thank you for connecting. Can I come and see you? It's send them a note to say to them, why are you connecting? Okay. And with the background that you have, they, when they see your note, they will look at it and like, okay, let's connect with this person. And from there, you engage with them, as a response to say, okay, we've connected and thank you for connecting, and wish them whatever. And then from there, get into the purpose. Okay. And one other brilliant tip that I got from one of the tribe members who is a coach is, if they do not want to respond, if they don't respond and you want to go see them, find out where their office is and send them a cup of coffee with some coffees inside and say to them, I would like to have coffee with you. I mean, if somebody receives a parcel well marked to say where it comes from, so it's not like you sending them something that we used to send in a very old age before I joined sales. They know this is from whoever, from this company. They wanted to connect with me on LinkedIn. I just delayed in connecting with them, and they want to have coffee. That's another way of really saying to them, I am serious about coming to see you. And so for me, that's how I do it.
That's funny, because I haven't received a cup of coffee from you, LESETJA.
Would you like my address?
No, but
you can send us some.
I don't want to solve any of your issues. I don't want to connect with you. I don't like you. So sorry, no coffee. No, you know what's going to happen? Let me tell you what's going to happen. What's going to happen is when I come down to Cape Town, it's not just going to be a coffee mug. It's going to be something that you can carry with you all the time wherever you go. That's what you're going to receive.
Awesome.
LESETJA, that is such a cool tip, though. That is so cool. I think all the business schools in the world is about to receive an Explore ProTech mug of coffee.
I just want to highlight something that LESETJA said, was surround yourself with the right people. Now, I've seen what connecting the right people can do. When you meet one person and you meet another person, and you kind of know the one's character, you know the other one's character, you know what the one does, you know what the other does, and you make that introduction, you kind of watch the magic happen, because you can introduce the right people to the right people. But if you're on your own, going out and meeting the right people is not as easy as somebody else actually connecting you with the right person. So, and this is something I've actually seen happen at a networking event, where I arrived at a networking event, somebody was put into a hot seat. A whole bunch of people were there to solve this one particular person's problems, or the person that was in the hot seat. And generally, the solutions to the person in the hot seat was to buy everybody's product. So the person would say, this is my particular problem. And then somebody would be like, oh, I deal with that in my book. So if you buy my book, that person is not trying to help you. They're trying to make a sale. There's a difference. There is a huge difference. So meeting the right people, and it's not the easiest thing on the face of the planet to meet the right people. You might end up in multiple spaces, but they'll just come that one space that you'll jump into, and maybe one or two people will just click. People that you actually want to go like, hey, actually, we should grab a cup of coffee. Like, we should have another conversation. We should talk more. Those people, the people that you click with, the people that can actually go, I'm really curious about what you're doing and how you're doing it. And hey, I'm doing this. What do you think? And well, I'm doing that. What do you think? Those people. It takes a while to find them, but don't just accept going to a networking group and somebody says, oh, buy my book now for $99.99. I deal with that in this chapter, and it will solve your problems. That person's not trying to help you. They're trying to make a sale of a book. So watch out for those two different, there are sales-driven spaces, and then there are people-driven spaces. You want to find people-driven spaces where the space is driven by the people in it. So shop around, go visit places. And if a place says you can't visit us unless you become a member and pay us, then don't go there. Go find a space that you can investigate, that they will give you an experience, that you can meet some people, you can get a feel for the space. And once you've got a feel for the space, you can figure out, does this work for me? Can I teach here? Can I learn here? Can I grow here? Can I meet the right people here? Can the right people help me in this space? Can I help other people in this space? If the answers to all those are negative, don't go there. Just don't go, because then you're wasting your time and they're wasting theirs. Find a good fit.
One thing that I also will comment on that LESETJA also touched on that I think is just very important to understand. So we talk about understanding people's pain points. That's very fundamental. People, like, one of the first things that I learned in my endeavors of becoming an entrepreneur was people really don't care about me. You know, unless you're in a space like this where people are actively trying to support and help each other, if you're going after your client, they generally don't really care that much about what you're up to or what you're trying to do. They care about how you could potentially help them. And you have only about a split second from the time that you meet them to illustrate to them that you're not actually just about selling them something to help yourself. You're about actually helping them. So if I would speak to clients that I found on LinkedIn about my accounting services, if I said something like I'm an accountant, that was already pretty much the wrong move. It was about, how are you doing in your medical practice? Have you claimed this tax credit? I'm just curious. I'm asking, did you know that you could use it, you know, like this for tax purposes? Would you like me to send you any more information on the provisional tax submissions and when those are due? I do it, you know what, if you haven't, like, I actually do a free needs analysis. So you can come to me, I'll interview you for 45 minutes, listen to everything that's going on, and I'll put together a free needs analysis plan for you. If you then decide that you want me to execute the plan for you, I'll give you a quote. But if you want to take that needs analysis somewhere else and
be my guest,
that's fine. That was literally my entire process. Like, I literally just told you the process that got me 60 clients in 3 months. That was it. That was the whole process. It was about making it all about them and actually being interested, you know. You very quickly pick up as well those people that are really good at sales, or even not so good, but they heard something about a pain point and they're, how are you doing?
Where are you hurting? I have a Band-Aid.
Yeah. It's just $10. I'll help you for $10. It's like, don't those people just make you cringe? No.
It's the same as, and there's another amazing platform, which is
have to actually care.
There's another amazing platform like Lunch Club. Lunch Club is all about people meeting each other. It's brilliant. Met some incredible people, but you'll get those few that aren't there to meet anyone. They're there because you're a captive audience. You've booked or the Lunch Club has booked you an appointment to meet this person based on some algorithm. And you jump into a meeting and the very first thing they're trying to do is sell you something. And my first response is, I don't know you. You're trying to sell me something, but you don't even know who I am. You don't even know what I do. You're trying to sell me coaching. Like, newsflash, I've got like 20 odd coaches in my networking group. If I needed coaching, I'd go to a coach that I trust for a pain point that I know that's what that coach does, and I know them. No, so if I needed somebody to keep me accountable, well, then I'd be going to Sondra and going like, hey, Sondra, I need somebody to hold me accountable. I'm not doing what I should. If I needed some high-end business advice and I'm dealing with a high-end client, I'm going to Stephen Levy. You know, if I've written something and I need to know whether it makes sense or not, my dyslexic self, I would be reaching out to KRISTA or Rona or Megan Deers or
Evelyn.
That's the thing. Don't get caught in that trap. Make it about other people first.
For sure.
Definitely.
And then, yeah, so figure out that thing that you can offer, and that's where niching and targeting comes in. Once you have a niche and a target, you can figure out the solution that you can easily create to offer to those people always. And that's when you then start to build out your automation with your lead magnets, all of those types of things. But you can't start there. You can if you've been, your experience and you know what you're doing, and then I guess you can start there, but you're not really starting. You have to start with finding a proper product market fit. Sondra, let's bring you into the conversation. I'm so excited to hear what you have to say.
I'm going to ask a question versus giving advice. So, because this is something I have struggled off and on. I'm in year 5, so you think I would have it figured out. So, but I don't. So how do you figure out the niche and the market? Because as a goal accountability coach, I feel like I can help anybody that's coachable. So like it's super broad. And anytime I get coached, I get told I'm too broad. But at the same time, I've worked with people that own 1 business, 6 businesses, like creative entrepreneurs, like all these buzzwords. I know they're buzzwords, but those are the people I work with. How do you figure out the niche, and how far do you have to niche down, or do you?
That's a great question. Thanks, Sondra. And like, seriously, like, don't ever say like, I already have to have, you don't have to have nothing. Everyone's journey looks different.
Yeah. I was actually going to say it depends on your space. It also depends on the product. It depends on what service you're delivering. And I think in most cases, being very specific about your niche market is beneficial, because then you know exactly who you're targeting for your messaging, who you're targeting for, how you're going to have that conversation. But it doesn't necessarily apply to everyone, because everyone's journey is completely different. So I wouldn't catch yourself in that space of going, well, everybody else is finding their niche and I can't seem to find mine. Well, maybe just take a look at your space and then figure out, do you actually need to niche down? Does your space require you to niche down? Because what you might be doing is doing damage instead of doing something better for your space. By niching down, you might miss out on a complete audience because you've niched in a very specific direction. So I think there is a way around that. And I think the way around that would be, if the people that are surrounding you that you trust know your space, they know your space. The friends that you've made, the connections you've made, ask them the same question. Do you feel like I need to niche? Do you feel that niching would hurt my space? Me personally, I actually think that for you and your clients are very, very different. You have very different clients. So if you were going to niche, you would have to choose one, this particular type of client, and you would miss out on a lot of business. So I'd be very careful about thinking that you have to niche. Like Nestene said, you don't have to do anything. What you do have to do is figure out what works, and that's what we can all help each other with.
Yeah, I think I disagree with Peter.
Just disagree all you like.
I think we have to figure out what works. Yes. So I think niching might not for you, it might not look like I serve only 55-year-old females that have gone through menopause.
Exactly.
It might not look like that. It might look like getting very specific about the offer that you're actually offering and talking about the pain points that your certain exact people that are looking for you are looking for. So I have a system that I use to niche myself. But then again, it's also about trying out like a bunch of different niches and seeing exactly which ones work for you. But my system that I use is I literally look at my current clients, then I rank them according to 3 categories. So the first one is, how much do they love me? Now, the reason for that category is if they love me and they're expressing that, they're more likely to refer. It's more likely that we have a product market fit going there. It's more likely that I'm actually really meeting their needs.
I like the second one better.
The second one is how much do I love them?
Because sometimes you just don't.
Now, the reason for that category is because, first of all, yes, self-esteem and everything, we want to work with people that we can actually work with and make our life a joy. But even more important than that, or just as important in that, as that, is when you find a client that you can actually perfectly serve. Again, there's that indication that there's that product market fit. Like your systems work on that specific client. So you're more likely to love working with them because it's a good match. Like everything at this moment in time is indicating to us that it's a good fit. Then in the third category, I will rank them according to lifetime spend. So it's literally about looking at, are they recurring spenders? Are they big spenders? Like, can I actually make money from this? One, to test financial viability, because obviously we all need to make a living. But more importantly, again, it talks to, do they see the value in what I am offering? Because again, if they see the value, the indication is there that that product market fit is really there. So what I would do is I would rank my clients according to this list, and then I would literally, like, if the first one is in construction and the second one is in something completely different, I would literally just start with the first one, pick that one, see what I can come up with, and then from there explore what the pain points are, what the offer actually is. Go back to that client to help me. I'd say, like, I have identified that this is what I'm doing for you. Do you agree? Yes or no? Give me more information, etc. Then once I'm done with that client, I would look up like a list of, say, like 10 clients that look exactly like that client on LinkedIn. So I'd literally go and copy paste their LinkedIn profile and go look up those 10. I'd connect with them and send them a message. I'm doing some market research. I am I'm an accountant. I currently am helping this one client. They really love what I'm doing. Yeah, I was just interested in figuring out, do you have the same problem? And literally, I just get them on a call and I talk through, what are your actual problems? Could this solution work for you? Now, the beautiful thing about that process is some of those people actually end up signing up. If the product market fit is there, they might end up signing up as clients. It's something that could happen. But more importantly than that, you're really getting to what exactly are the pain points, because the more you can understand, what am I doing for this person? It's about putting yourself in their shoes and figuring out, if I'm a doctor that works 24/7 and I did not study tax at med school, and now everyone is telling me that I need to have my provisional tax under control, like, I am not spending the time to figure this stuff out. Like, that's the problem that I needed to understand. I needed to understand, how does it feel when that doctor has literally just worked like 36 hours, they're sitting at a coffee shop, they haven't seen their wife, they haven't seen their baby, like, everything's upside down, they just want to get home, and now it's like, great, tax returns to you. If I could understand that, I can communicate about it. I can write blogs about it. I can ask KRISTA and Evelyn to write blogs about it. I can make little pamphlets to say, are you a doctor? Are you at the coffee shop? And I could go leave that at coffee shops, at medical. You see how much I'm empowered to actually figure out how I'm going to help this person. It's all about just figuring out who you're helping, because then you can figure out, how am I going to help this person?
But just to understand that everybody else's process might not be yours. Don't look at how other people are niching specifically and go, that's what I need to do, because it might not be what you need to do. You're going to need to figure out your space and your method. I think there are a lot of people in this space that can answer a lot of the questions if they know exactly what you do. And I think there are people in this space that you can ask because they know exactly what you do. So rely on those relationships.
Even when you're in the customer research stage, like going onto the coffee shop WhatsApp group and posting in there, hey guys, I'm thinking about helping realtors next. That is who I want to work with. Anyone have a good contact of a realtor that might just be willing to help me with some market research? guaranteed you're going to get some really good introductions and connections already. And then even while you're in the market research stage and you're trying to put all of this together, because that's again where it's a lot of subjective thinking, right? It's not, there's no numbers, no one right answer. That's where it's good to, again, get together a focus group of peers, invite more than one person from the community. They're all experienced entrepreneurs. If you show them, guys, these are the people that I think I want to work with. This is why. This is the research I've gotten so far. How would you guys say I should actually like word my offer? What do you think is important? What's jumping out at you right here?
Another reason that makes perfect sense is because 9 times out of 10, the people that you're approaching, even though they might end up being your client, if before they are your client, and this is where I know KRISTA is really smart, if before they are your client, you're asking them to become part of your solution and asking for their advice and make them feel important in helping build what you're building, they're more than likely going to be interested in having the conversation of what it looks like when it's finished. And when they're looking at what it looks like when it's finished, they're like, oh, wait a second, but that's actually a solution I need. And I was part of actually creating it. It just makes your potential client part of your journey and easier to actually have that conversation with. When it's time to have the conversation, when you go, hey, it's me, Sondra, they're like, yes, please, because we know that we were part of the solution of figuring out what that is. KRISTA, I remember that we had that conversation not too long ago. It wasn't too long ago. It was a great conversation.
It was.
Yeah.
Well, while we have you online, KRISTA, do you have anything you'd like to add or share about or ask about?
It was the right conversation. I wanted to speak to this topic of niching and kind of share what my experience has been. I've found that as I've gotten more experienced, I'm learning kind of who wants to hire me in the first place, along with all the other things you were mentioning about who I work best with, who I love, that kind of thing, who loves me. And also just kind of noticing the patterns among the people who say yes, and noticing also types of niches. So I don't niche down in the sense that I'm not going to say, oh, well, I only serve people who use this specific software or tool, or people in this specific subsection of the tech industry, or people who speak about this topic. So my niche is a little bit broad in that way, that I say that I'm serving speakers and innovators, visionaries. So that is broad, but it also excludes a whole lot of people as well that I was afraid to exclude, because I was like, oh, well, you know, what if the local chimney cleaning company needs me to do their website? I don't want to turn down their money. But what I realized was that, yeah, I can serve some of those folks, but only if they're already kind of speaking my language about story and branding. Otherwise, they're not going to value what I have to offer. So I'm noticing that. And also the way that I niche down too can be about, like you were saying, the offer, the types of offers. So if I'm focusing on the primary offer of writing a book, I was afraid originally that, oh, well, if I focus on the big thing, what if they don't want or even need the big thing at that time? And what I'm realizing is that it may not even matter, in the sense that because I say that I combine the book ghostwriting and editing services with other services. I just got a client today who wants me to do a professional, multiple versions of her professional bio. So it doesn't mean that I have to exclude everyone who's not interested in the big offer.
100%.
That is so valuable, KRISTA. And that is what this show is about. It's like hearing the actual experiences, the actual stories, not the, you know, for 99 cents, I'm going to teach you my golden process that will not work at all for you, but it did for me.
What I would recommend is Sondra and KRISTA. And KRISTA, I know that this is a very specific journey that you've actually recently taken.
Yeah.
And then you were also going through the process of getting that feedback. And we were having
Yes.
conversation without the feedback.
Yes,
And I think
that's a whole nother cover that I can talk to you about, but I didn't want to monopolize the time here.
I think what I would love to have happen is if you and Sondra can actually go and have that conversation, because
Okay,
Sondra
sure.
is now where you were, and then at a later date, it'll be the other way around.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to have that conversation. I'm sure there are things she can teach me.
Oh, 100%. I think that if the two of you have that conversation, you both get each other unstuck real quick.
That sounds great. I'll put my calendar in the chat here if that works for you, Sondra.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you introduce two of the right people to each other. Even though they may know each other and we know them, we happen to know where everybody's journey is at. And because you're in that know, when somebody comes to you and go, oh, I'm battling with this, you can actually look into somebody else's space and go, oh, well, that person was battling with that a little while ago and we had that conversation. I should just connect the dots. We should be doing that for each other in our spaces. If your networking space is not doing that, oh, goodness me, good luck connecting the dots.
Krista, before we move on, we need to hear your business name.
Oh, my business name is Wise Words That Matter, hence the whole preference for thought leaders, people who are wise and they're making a difference and they matter.
That is stunning. Thank you so much. And you're looking lovely as ever today, Krista. It's always so amazing to have you here.
Thank you. I love coming here. I need to come here more often.
Yeah, definitely. And ladies and gents, before we wrap up, because we do need to wrap up, I have to just also applaud Sondra for being brave, for being here, and for asking the questions that actually matter. I think if we had more entrepreneurs that were not afraid of showing up as themselves with us, you don't have to do that every way. Like, you don't have to go stand in the middle of a giant shopping mall and announce your questions to the world. But when you come here and you do that with us, help happens, where connection happens, family happens, and that is how we're going to move each other forward.
Yeah, I think sometimes a well-placed question is better than a really smart answer.
Yeah, for sure.
Because not everybody knows it all the time. I clearly don't, because I just repeat Nestene's words in a different way. So I clearly have no idea what I'm talking about. But the reality is that a well-placed question, it creates conversation and it creates solutions. If we don't have those questions, we can't create the answers, and creating the answers is something that we actually get to do together. So that's absolutely brilliant.
LESETJA, you can have the last word. It's fine.
It's not really the last word. I don't want to close. What I want to say is the space that we're in is so safe for us to be vulnerable in. And that's why Sondra is able to ask that question where she feels, well, I feel I'm lost. Where can I go? This is a very safe space where you can just raise a question. And as we all know, there's no stupid question, you know? So yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, LESETJA. And we look forward, ladies and gents, to presenting Sondra and KRISTA, LESETJA and Evelyn as one of the Forbes 500 entrepreneurs in the near future, because this is how that is going to happen. So if you're not here with us today, get your butt to the coffee shop show next week. We're here every single week, once a week. We love creating for you guys, talking to say about entrepreneurial things. Peter has literally just switched off video by fiddling with the laptop, but I think we're back. Thanks so much for being here with us, and we will definitely see you next week, same time, same place. We adore you. Remember, entrepreneurs are the best thing that has ever happened to this world. You guys are amazing. You rock. We got your back. May all your entrepreneurial dreams come true. Bye.
Bye. No.